a trip for GMC.
Okay, I'm down.
Down south to check all that new stuff out.
I'm trying to check out the Moana part.
I thought you'd like the Guardians of the Galaxy too.
No, Moana.
Okay.
How far I'll go. Okay. I have a News 5 original for you this morning about batteries. Some can be dangerous if they're not disposed of properly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know exactly what to do with old batteries. This morning, Jay Jarvis explains how a collection center in Lorain is helping and turning some of those batteries into bucks.
We take lead acid batteries, which would normally people would associate that with auto batteries, tractor batteries, car batteries.
After people drop off their unwanted batteries, they're separated by type or sorted into these bins. Once there's a good amount of each, they're either shipped out to a scrapyard to be properly recycled or tossed away like these household alkaline batteries. And sometimes those batteries can be worth a lot of cash. Each one of those lead acid batteries can net the county between $2 and $5 from the scrapyard.
That exchange just helps us to offset the cost and make it more doable as a county service because we don't charge residents.
Add to that, when the county handles those batteries, it's less likely they'll be disposed of incorrectly. The biggest concern for collection center staff are batteries made out of more hazardous materials like those car batteries or the lithium-ion ones found in your cell phones and other portable electronics.
If a car battery were to be thrown into the trash, it could leak. There's acid in that. In particular example, lead acid battery, there's acid there. Batteries can, because of electrolysis, produce hydrogen gas, and that is a highly flammable gas.
In Elyria, Jay Jarvis, News 5.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree will pay out more than $1 million in fines under a new settlement. The companies were accused of selling over-the-counter medications that had expired. They also sold motor oil that's not good for current cars and SUVs. To make sure it doesn't happen again, the companies say they'll review their business practices. Amazon says it's reviewing items for sale right now because of an investigation by the Wall Street Journal. The report listed more than 4,100 items available on the site that federal agency marked unsafe or deceptive. We're talking toys, medicine, and even baby sleeping maps.
Amazon is the wild, wild west when it comes to product safety. Because they often leave it up to their sellers to make the determination if those products are safe.
Amazon has already removed at least half the items listed in that report. Let's talk about major changes that could be coming to the federal food stamp program now.
37,000 Ohioans could lose their SNAP benefits. Right now, people are eligible for benefits if they meet federal poverty level guidelines. In Ohio, the state does not put a limit on how much money people have in the bank. So people with savings who meet the income guidelines can still qualify for benefits, but a new proposal would make them ineligible. That could create an even bigger demand for places like the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
If you're saving $2 extra and you hit that limit, then you're removed off the program and you're losing maybe $100 or $200 a month. So it doesn't make sense to save. And we know that in order to get any type of financial security and not receive SNAP benefits in the future, you have to be able to save for all of the unexpected expenses that come up in life.
Supporters of this rule change say it is needed to close a loophole. The USDA will be taking your feedback through mid-September.
Cracked, crumbling, and costly. This morning, we're looking into plans to help property owners pay for sidewalk repairs.
And celebrating inspiring women, Mattel just added 2 new dolls to a line honoring history's role models.
Plus, we'll get another check of your forecast. Stay with us.
This might be the coolest thing I've ever done. Looks awesome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's Baker Mayfield and Steve Austin taking a tour of our city in recliner go-karts. How about that? The Browns QB appeared on the show Straight Up Steve Austin last night.
Yeah, Baker even introduced the legendary wrestler to coach and fellow wrestling fan Freddie Kitchens. Baker Mayfield also made it onto the top 100 players list from ESPN. So did 3 other Browns players. OBJ was ranked at number 13. Defensive end Myles Garrett came in at number 21. And cornerback Denzel Ward was 89. This Thursday will be the Browns' last preseason game. Our Browns Countdown pregame show starts at 7. Kickoff is at 7:30. And stay tuned for our postgame show.
And by the time we get to Thursday, it's going to be beautiful. 70s dropping into the 60s during the game. Before then, though, I've got storms today. And after then, I've got storms Sunday. We'll map it all out for you. We'll break this forecast down after the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Cleveland on News 5.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. It is 6:30. I'm Katie Houston.
And I'm T. Lee. We got a lot to get to this morning. Homa is showing us how crews are cleaning up algae in the largest inland lake in Ohio. We're also finding out the shortfalls of gap insurance.
But we want to start with your weather and traffic together. So, Trent, kick us off.
As we're talking about some rain outside this morning, not a lot, but I do have some light showers, and you'll be able to see that behind Homa when we talk to her. It's not showing up on radar. I mean, she's in Medina right now, and there is not a thing around the whole county as far as on the radar. It's very light. It's just a couple little areas of some drizzle. Most of us, though, doing just fine. The big picture, though, shows that, check this out, rain from overnight last night, clouds still thick, thickening up also through the rest of the morning, and that's really it. This is our line for the afternoon we're watching. It is a slow-moving boundary, slow-moving cold front with wind out of the south ahead of it, adding some more humidity to the air. I've got this cold front kind of colliding with all this kind of tropical, humid air. It's going to spark up some storms later on. Along this line, we're already seeing it, thunderstorms developing. Those break off the line and head east. The cold front, though, is still going to be farther off towards the west. It's going to take a while to get back through the entire state. So we're still all in this pretty good shot for some thunderstorms. A few of these stronger thunderstorms could produce damage, though. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. Again, it's not going to be here until midday into the afternoon. So after school, your bus ride home, football practice, anything going on after school, any activities, your evening commute also could get a bit unsettled. But for your morning, Meg, we're just talking about a couple little damp roads.
All right, that's pretty good out there. Taking a look at our drive times in the Cleveland area, you are still good this morning. 90, 77, and 480. You're all in the green. 12 minutes, 8 minutes, and 8 minutes. Down in the Akron area, all green as well. 76, 77, and 77 northbound, all in the green as well. Taking a look, I want to start in the Akron area. At our maps, you can see just how green it is out there this morning on those highways. In the Cleveland area, this incident here that has been since cleared. We're working to get, oh, there. They heard me. They just heard it. Just left our traffic systems as I was looking at it. All right, taking a look at our ODOT camera, bouncing around here this morning. We're going to 90 at Worcester Road. Traffic is moving along just fine, guys.
All right, Meg, thank you. Look, listen, we've talked about fights between homeowners and cities over unsafe sidewalks before, and in most cases, people are left covering the costs to fix them. North Canton, though, is trying to start a sidewalk replacement program. Camera Repository is reporting property owners would pay half the cost and the city would pick up the rest. There are some restrictions. We'll let you know if this measure advances. In Canton, the school district changed the busing policy, and now some parents and caregivers are pretty upset.
The district is returning to a policy that was in place prior to 2013. The buses will no longer pick up students who live within 1 mile of their school. So that means some kids will now have to walk across busy roads or go through some neighborhoods that parents and caregivers feel are unsafe.
We're supposed to believe that our kids' safety is a big concern for the school and, and to educate our children. And it seems like their safety, they don't seem like it's important to them.
So take a look. A crime map of the area surrounding her granddaughter's elementary school does show more than 50 sex offenders in a 1 mile radius and a number of robberies, assaults, and other crimes within the past year.
Ohio State wants the Board of Trustees to approve $156 million to create a new health sciences center. The university says the center would blend new technology with hands-on learning for our future doctors and nurses. The Board of Trustees at OSU will vote on that plan next week. Now, just earlier this month, we talked about a possible shortage of primary care doctors in Ohio. We told you by 2025, our state will need about 1,200 more of them to fill the gap.
Only on News 5, there is a Cleveland neighborhood where repeated illegal dumping is so bad, people who live there are now demanding the city post surveillance cameras to try to catch the people responsible. Homeowners in the Buckeye Woodhill neighborhood are pointing to these barrels leaking hundreds of gallons of petroleum sealer. That black, gooey mess is oozing down Mount Carmel Road. Ward 6 community activists and inspectors with the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District were out there yesterday trying to get a good idea of this potential contamination.
I can't understand how people want to live like this. This is not something that we can just do. We just can't dump whatever we want and expect for the Mother Nature to run it down the sewer.
Cleveland's Environmental Crimes Task Force is also on this case. They could pursue felony charges. A problem with the elevators at apartments designed for seniors in Euclid is over now. Management at Indian Hills Apartments tells us the elevator that went down Friday has been fixed. They also say they fixed another elevator they say broke when someone jammed metal into the door to try to hold it open. But now we've learned a door on one of the buildings won't lock. We're told crews are waiting on parts rather, to make the repair. So security, they say, will be there until it's fixed.
A judge in Cuyahoga County just told the Ohio Board of Pharmacy to allow a second medical marijuana dispensary to open in Cleveland. The board must give the botanist a certificate before it can legally sell the drug. The board held off on issuing that certificate because it wanted to review the company's management services. The DEA is now expanding scientific and medical research into marijuana. That means more researchers can grow a wider variety of the drug. The agency first announced it would license those pot growers 2 years ago, but the Justice Department temporarily stopped the process. Coming up on Good Morning Cleveland, Ohio State is getting ready for the new football season with a shakeup. What's coming and what's disappearing from the shoe?
And making history overnight, what happened at an orbiting lab while you were sleeping?
Welcome back. It is 6:38 right now. We told you about expanded Wi-Fi coming to Ohio Stadium this weekend, but Ohio State University just announced some more changes for the shoe, including at the concession stand. Drinks will now come with these new lids, so you won't need a straw. They are still available by request. Refills are now free, too, at self-serve stations. The menu is growing as well. Look at that lobster roll right there, and a twist on chicken and waffles, too, is being added just in time for the game Saturday. Speaking of chicken, KFC is adding a new item to its menu today, only in the ATL, though. The company is testing out plant-based poultry. It will offer nuggets, boneless wings made from the chicken alternative. Now, other chains like Burger King, Dunkin', they have added plant-based protein options too to the menu. This is a first for chicken, though. KFC insists the alternative is still finger-licking good. Licking. You got to take the G off. Licking good, yeah.
I kind of want some chicken this morning. All these chicken sandwich stories.
Chicken. I don't know about no plant-based protein, but shout out to the vegetarians and the vegans out there. Go get yours.
Well, the people doing it for environmental reasons, too.
You too. Go get yours, too. Look at this sports field.
I was just going to see how long it was good. Rocky River looking good this morning. Look at this sports field. We've got soccer, football, baseball, softball, all of it. I'll tell you what, we've got an okay morning for it, just a couple little showers. Temperature-wise, we're in the 60s as you head out the door this morning. It is going to be an active afternoon, though, so we're a little damp this morning, but I've got some thunderstorms in the forecast for this afternoon, and some of them, yeah, they will be strong, so we'll show you that coming up.
Thanks, Trent. Rosa Parks and Sally Ride now have their very own Barbie doll. The two iconic women are the newest additions to Barbie's Inspiring Women series. Rosa Parks, famed civil rights activist, right? She's known for her pivotal role in the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. And we checked Mattel's website overnight. The doll is already on back order. Very popular. The other Inspiring Women doll is Sally Ride. She was on board the Challenger shuttle when it lifted off in 1983, making her the first American woman and youngest American to travel to space. The Inspiring Women series also includes artist Frida Kahlo. Is that Kahlo?
Kahlo.
Aviator Amelia Earhart and NASA mathematician Katherine Johnson.
Yeah, all legends.
Every year, the average worker in the United States clocks almost 1,800 hours. That's more than German workers, but less than workers in Mexico.
And we know you work hard, but a new study from Wallet Hub claims people in Ohio may be slackers. I didn't want to say it, but this is what they found. Take a look at the results. Ohio falls way down at number 46. I was trying to slow down until we got to it, but there it is. Yeah, 46. My goodness. Well, at least we're ahead of Michigan.
We did score high on indirect work factors, including time spent volunteering or commuting. Well, do you want to score high on that, commuting?
I don't know.
We got hit, though, for the number of young people who don't work, the average work week, and our unemployment rate.
All right. I remember when John Travolta couldn't say a singer's name at the Oscars, Adele. What did he say, Adele Dazeem?
Oh, Adele Dazeem.
Yeah. Well, he just made another slip at an award show. We'll show you that moment.
And an airline is offering you a new way to book your flight when you can start using WhatsApp to start booking your trip. Hey, welcome back. This is really cool. New overnight, an uncrewed Russian spacecraft made it to the International Space Station. The Soyuz MS-14 arrived just after 11 o'clock last night.
The first capsule to visit the ISS without a human crew. It's leaving behind more than 1,000 pounds of cargo for the astronauts there. And then later this morning, they'll send back more than 2,000 pounds of scientific experiments to Earth on board SpaceX Dragon cargo craft.
In a landmark decision, an Oklahoma judge has ordered pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson to pay up for fueling the opioid crisis. The company was ordered to pay $572 million in damages. This was the first state case against an opioid manufacturer to make it to trial. Oklahoma's attorney general accused the company of acting as a drug kingpin, saying Johnson & Johnson created a public nuisance by spreading misinformation that cost the state billions of dollars and destroyed thousands of lives. Craig Box is among the parents who testified at trial. His son Austin started taking painkillers after a back surgery, or back injury rather. Austin later died of an overdose in 2011.
I'm just pleased that the court found that Johnson & Johnson was responsible for this epidemic and the cause of so much pain to Oklahoma.
And this case could really have sweeping implications because 48 other states, including Ohio, are trying to hold companies accountable for the opioid epidemic. Johnson & Johnson says it'll be appealing this ruling.
All right, some of you don't want to think about it. Some of you can't wait. The winter is coming. It's a fact. It's coming. Get ready. Embrace it, okay? The Farmer's Almanac just released its map of predictions. You see, our label is labeled frozen and snowy.
Oh, well, I mean,
how's that any different?
Yeah, I mean,
the Almanac says the biggest drop in temps will be felt across the plains and into the Great Lakes starting at the end of January. It's also predicting more snow, and it could stick around longer with spring making a slow start.
And like what we were talking though too, Trent, what about the fall? Fall is so wonderful, and often it gets truncated by winter.
Right.
Being bossy and just coming on scene way too early.
Right, and one of the bigger impacts for like our fall colors is like the summer leading up to it. So if you have like a kind of a wetter or a kind of a healthier for the trees kind of summer, they'll stay on a little bit longer if you can avoid the wind and those, you know, early winter storms. So it could be really good. It could be a good fall. It could for colors and stuff like that. It could be a pretty good fall.
So according to Trent's Almanac, a good fall.
If you say the S word anytime soon, you're gonna be
summer?
Summer?
Done with summer.
All right.
Let's not even get started on me and the Farmer's Almanac.
I smell a Facebook Live.
We can do a Facebook Live.